Hey Crafty Peeps! I'm excited about today's video because the Lisas of YouTube are coming together to show you the top 2022 decor trends. So what I'm going to do for you is show you browns, neutrals, textures, mixed media, and I love the way that today's projects turned out. And I also want to thank iLife for sponsoring today's video. So let's get right into it.
For this project, I'm going to use one of these wood rounds from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint it here with antique wax from Waverly. I spared you from watching me paint it, but you can see how gorgeous that looks. You can use any kind of stain, but look at how amazing that Dollar Tree round took that stain. And then I have this mat here, this placemat. I think I got it from the 99-cent store. I'm not sure, but you can see here it has kind of a matte creamy color here, or I can flip it and have this beautiful kind of rose gold color on the other side. So I'm just going to take my hot glue gun here and in spots put some glue so that I can stick it down. Now I see a lot of placemats like this at Hobby Lobby, so you could pick one up there as well. This is a 3-item project, super easy but looks so high-end, so definitely you can pick up something, like I said, at Hobby Lobby. They have amazing placemats. Once I get this stuck down, I'm going to take this Dollar Tree mirror here and I'm going to pop out the mirror. It's super easy, and I'm going to paint this black frame with truffle chalk paint from Waverly as well. So again, I spared you watching me paint it because I'm just changing the color. Okay, once it's painted, you see here I've got this dark brown color, and then I'm just going to take some super glue also from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put it around the circle of the mirror and then glue it down to the placemat. That's it. Like I said, it's a 3 items project here to make a beautiful wall hanging mirror. I'm obsessed with this. I think it looks gorgeous. I will put a little tack on the back so that I can hang it. Okay, this is one of my favorite projects. I love projects like this. Okay, so I picked up this little sandwich board sign from the 99-cent store. I believe it was $1.49 or $1.99. I can't see here. But one side says it's chalk. If you don't have a sign like this, pick one like this up from the Dollar Tree that already has the wood frame around it. I do know they have some out right now. Okay, so then I just pull some different items from my stash. This is a Tim Holtz ephemera kit here from Joann's. I'll link it below if I can. This is such a cute bag I got from a local boutique. I literally bought something just for the bag. I don't end up using this piece of paper, but I use something similar. Then this is my Dollar Tree stuff here. Look at how many different pieces of stickers. There's puffy stickers, 3D stickers, rub-ons. Obviously, I like them because I think I have one of everything. Circling back there to that bag there from the local boutique, you could probably get scrapbook paper that looks like that, or even just print something off your printer that looks like that as well. So what I'm doing is I'm going into my stash. I'm looking for things that I think might work for this mixed media art piece in creams and browns and even some black. And I just start pulling things out that I think is going to work for this project. Again, I'm centering it all around this little bag that I got from that boutique. I cut it down to size and I cut it a little bit smaller so it would have that black border. So now I just start flipping through my items, kind of coming up with some pieces that I like and that I think will work. So here, going through that whole kit, I pull out a few items and I put them up at the top of the screen there that I might use. I go ahead and grab one of these pieces from Dollar Tree. I don't end up using it, but again, I just pull a bunch of pieces I think I'll like, and then I start using some of them. It is so much fun mixing and matching pieces, and there's really no right or wrong way. But I will tell you that one of the things I do is I use kind of the plain elements, the ones that have as much design or whatever towards the back of the image. So things that are a little bit simpler. Whenever I'm using stickers, I cut the sticker out so that I'm not actually sticking it down so that I can move it around onto the piece. Again, I'm just playing around with pieces. I put them down. Does it look good? I don't know. But most of the time I find that wherever I set it is pretty much where I like it. This is some fun little, it's not, I can't call it tape off to the side there because it's not sticky, but anyhow, I picked that up at DIYS. So one of the things is you do not want to stick everything down until you know that you're happy with your design. Okay, and so this is one of the reasons. I'm going to go ahead and tie some twine around this tag in the back, and then I'm going to hang this chipboard key from that twine there, and that is also from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree actually has a ton of ephemera that is pretty darn amazing, like these little tags. Since these are solid, they look really good by just kind of shoving them into the background, as you can see right here. And again, I cut them out. I did not stick them down yet. Once you have your design, I recommend you kind of take a picture so that you don't forget exactly how you had it, and then you're going to take everything off and start gluing everything down. My choice here is a double stick kind of like glue runner. Dollar Tree does carry them. They just don't have a ton of glue in them, so they don't last as long, but they're definitely my favorite. So again, I'm just going to stick or glue everything down the way I had it set up previously. And I'm going to stick a little brad there in the middle of the clock. And I want my clock to kind of stick up, so I'm going to put some of the Dollar Tree foam there, and so it'll give it a little bit more of dimension. Again, here I'm just putting elements down. I find this so fun. You just like throw things down, see what you think you like. You can move things around. Of course, if you're a paper crafter or scrapbooker, you're going to see that this is kind of where all that comes from. Put a little paper clip up at the top, a fun paper clip. I'll finish it off with this family chipboard sign that has literally been in my stash for 10 years. I'm finally using it. I feel like it needed a little more at the top. And then this project's done. It makes me so happy. I just love, love, love how it turned out, and it was so much fun to make. I know I went a little bit fast, but I hope that it inspired you just to kind of take a bunch of pieces and see what you can come up with. I got these wreath forms in my Michael's grab bag last year. No joke, I got like 15 or 20 of them. Never seen anything quite like them, but I am finally using some stuff up that I've had in my stash. So they didn't have a price on them. I don't know how much they were. I'm going to guess probably about $10. It has a nice matte gold to it. And then I picked up these like palm fern leaves from Walmart. They were $2 on clearance, and I'm going to cut them down here and put them on this sign. This was a fun project because I kind of just walked around my craft room and was like, what do I have? What can I use? And I just really thought that this was very trendy for 2022. Lots of greenery, the browns, the neutrals, the texture, and I just love these. Again, just 3 elements coming together. I'm not even going to paint this hello wood piece from Dollar Tree because I love the color. Now, the easiest way to adhere these leaves is to use these green zip ties. So I had to do it off screen because it had to do it off the table. Now, to zip tie the hello down, I'm going to staple them to the letters here, and then I will add them to the wreath form. Okay, but here is where I made a mistake. When you do zip ties, you need to have the part that has a little square off to the left, it needs to be all the way over. So when you staple it down, you want to make sure it's not in the center like I did it, but that little square is right where you staple. Okay, and you're going to see why. Because when I go to pull it taut, then there's extra like zip tie there, and you don't want that. So like I always say, I make the mistakes so that you don't have to. So again, when you staple them, staple the little square piece as close to the staple gun as you can, and then it will pull tight perfectly. But this did work really well. So here you see how I have the extra loop there. That wouldn't happen if I had cut it, or if I hadn't stapled it in the middle. I just made this little bow here, very simple, and I used twine to tie it in the center, and then it makes it easy for me to just tie it onto this wreath form. And this project's done. You can see it was super simple to make. It took me maybe 10 minutes to make, and I absolutely love how simple but high-end it looks. Also there in the background, you get a sneak peek of my bathroom makeover, which I will be sharing hopefully soon because I'm so excited about it. So stay tuned for that. This video is sponsored by iLife, biggest robot vacuum and cordless vacuum cleaner manufacturer in the whole world. So they sent me this cordless wet dry vacuum, and I was very excited to use it. So you're going to go ahead and pull out that top piece there, add some water, a cap full of the cleaner, and then pop it right back into the vacuum. And so what this is going to do, it's kind of like, your carpet cleaners, but this can be used on your regular flooring. So I go ahead and I just hit the power button here, and now I can there's a little button underneath, spray, and now I'm doing a wet dry vacuum. What I love about this is when I mop, everything gets so wet and it kind of can leave some residue, but this vacuums it right back up. And I definitely need that because with 5 pets and crafts, I can make quite a mess. So just for fun, I put a little bit of paint down on my floor, maybe more than a little bit, to see what this thing could do. Now, if you are going to spill this much paint, I suggest you do pull it up with some paper towels first because you don't want to, mess this all around. But I will say, I stuck with it here and I moved it all around, and it did end up picking up all the paint. So again, you spill some paint, wipe it up with a paper towel, but look at how good it cleaned up that paint that I spilled. And let me tell you, in my craft room, paint does get spilled. Okay, once you're finished, you can put it back on the dock and it will start charging, and then it will also go into self-cleaning mode. But before you do that, you're going to want to clean up the HEPA filter there at the top and then pour out the dirty water. Pop off the little roller here, and then I go and I rinse that and pop it back down. Once you do all this, you put it back on the charger, press the self-cleaning mode, and it cleans itself and it's ready to go for the next time.
Charging. Please start self-cleaning and make sure clean water tank is full and dirty water tank is empty.
Its self-cleaning mode takes just 1 minute.
Roller brush self-cleaning. Pipe self-cleaning. Self-cleaning finished. Please clean dirty water tank to avoid get stinky.
with the 2022 trends of browns and textures. I knew I had this faux leather from Dollar Tree, so I decided to cut a piece out here and wrap it over a Dollar Tree canvas. So just with some hot glue, I'm wrapping it around. It doesn't have to look good on the sides because this will be covered by a frame, but you do want to make sure it's nice and tight around the frame. And so this faux leather is so neat. It comes in brown and black and white. If it comes in another color, I'm unaware of, but those are the three colors I found and purchased, and I absolutely love them. So once I get this all glued down, I went to my Cricut and in Design Space, I cut out this image. It says Living My Best Life, and you want to cut this out on removable vinyl. Okay, so that's why this is pink. I just have a big roll of pink removable vinyl that I probably wouldn't use otherwise, and so I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Because it's removable and because the leather is textured, it does take a little bit for it to stick down. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint over the whole thing and then peel the vinyl off. But you could, at this, if you want to do it a little bit differently, you could just use your regular permanent vinyl in like a cream color, put the image down and be done. Like, you don't have to do the next step, and that would still look amazing. But what I'm going to do here, taking my brayer and just making sure it's stuck down really nice, I'm using Cashew in Waverly. Now this is like a semi-gloss color. I would prefer to use chalk. I really like the consistency of chalk paint, but this is just what I had in my stash, and so this is what I'm using. I'm just, as you can see, painting over this vinyl decal here all along the leather. You can paint as much or as little as you like, because you can see it kind of looks really neat with the brown leather coming through. So it's up to you with how much you paint down. So again, once I get this all painted down, I'm going to start peeling up the vinyl. Now, because I'm not sure if it was because this is a satin paint or if it's because I painted it down onto leather. Not sure which one of it gave it that kind of fuzzy look. It didn't give me those really like crisp lines that I usually get when I do something like this. But I just took my Q-tips here and I just kind of rubbed it inside of the image, and it made the lines much cleaner. So this is just an 8x10 frame that I have left over from, I don't know, 10 years ago. And so I'm just going to paint it with truffle chalk paint from Waverly. I'm going to use one of my chip brushes here. I'm not going to completely cover it. Again, that's up to you if you want to completely paint it solid, but I kind of wanted to give it this texture because, again, it's all about textures, and I love texture. I go ahead and I make it a little bit darker, but I like it that some of the other wood color is showing through. Once I get this painted to my desire, I'll go ahead and pop my little canvas right into it. I don't end up showing this on film, but I do put some hot glue in between the canvas and the frame just to keep it into place. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. I had these solo wood flowers in my stash. They're very like wood looking. They were absolutely perfect. I did find that they were kind of a little bit, they pop up too much, so I try to make them as flat as possible. Also, they were all the same size, so I picked off some petals from one of them because I wanted one to be a little bit smaller. What I also don't show on film is I did glue the backing of the frame back onto this so that it will stand up on its own. And I just love the colors and the textures and everything about this project. I'm so happy to have you here today, and if you are new, I hope that you will stick around and hit that subscribe button. I also want to let you know that I am over on Instagram where I share all sorts of things, especially Dollar Tree hauls. So I hope you'll join me there. My name is dollar__mom. When I saw this little Easter purse at Dollar Tree, I knew I was going to want to cut it up and do something with it. So I'm going to start just cutting off the straps here and then cutting it so that it's a long piece. And what I'm going to do is wrap it around this glass container, vase, whatever you want to call it. Now, I suggest you use something that is flat, meaning the bottom and the top are the same circumference, because this one has a smaller bottom and a bigger top, which makes this a little bit more difficult to cover. It still can be done, but again, if you can, find something that is straighter and not as round as this one. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue it down with my glue gun, and I'm going to go all the way around this glass container. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that excess down into my vase here, and then I will glue that down in, and that makes a really, really cute container. But again, I'd probably pick something that's flatter, maybe even a little bit taller, but I'm trying to use up some stuff in my stash because it's ridiculous how much supplies I have. I have to use them up. I'm actually in the middle of a craft room makeover, which I cannot wait to share with you and organize all the things. And so I definitely want to be using a little bit more of what's in my stash. Sometimes I have ideas and know that I could buy something that might work a little better, but it's all about using what you have. And, you know, these are supposed to be economical DIYs for your decor. But I love the way that this purse looks. Has a really neat boho, rattan, you know, texture, vibe to it. I think it would look really neat if it was taller. Okay, so I have some of this eucalyptus. Again, came from my Michael's grab bags. Love them. They were wrapped in these little bundles, which was kind of interesting, but when I grab a bundle of them and put them all down in there, it looks great. Eucalyptus is one of my favorite greeneries. It even smells like eucalyptus, so it's pretty exciting. So I'm going to go through my Dollar Tree little chipboard images here. I grab one of the flowers with some ribbon, again from my stash. I'm going to just loop that flower in and tie it into a bow. And this project's done. I think it really adds to the vignette of the projects that I've made today. I hope you enjoyed these DIYs today. Make sure you check out the playlist below and check out the other Lisas of YouTube and find out other 2022 decor trends. Until next time, happy crafting.